Wilson, and you're listening to the Starting Block Podcast. Guys, this is a show for complete athletic development. The objective here is to give you the tools to win, whether you're the athlete, the parent, or the coach. As always, I'm here with my co-host, Chris Scarborough. What's up, man?
Hey, good afternoon.
Guys, if you're new to the show, welcome aboard. Appreciate you joining. We operate differently, and well, I guess our regular listeners, I appreciate you joining us as well. I don't want to leave you guys out. But yeah, if you're new to the show, guys, we operate different than your standard podcast. You will quickly learn that. We are quite a bit different in the fact that you're going to get multiple shows within the show. So typically, depending on if we're on top of our stuff or not, you're going to get a Q&A, and that should be bi-weekly, but sometimes it's going to be bi-quarterly or bi-monthly or maybe even bi-yearly. It just kind of depends on how the day is rolling for us. But the Q&A is going to be the show where we answer the questions you guys submit to us. That can be anything related to stuff we've talked about in the past, performance, rehab, nutrition, the neuro voodoo stuff, guests we've brought on. Feel free to ask questions about them as long as it's not about Dr. Jack Cruz, because we're not smart enough to answer those.
I was about to say, except for Jack Cruz. He'd be one exception to that. Absolutely.
Yeah. But aside from that, you can shoot us questions and we'll tackle them. You guys, you can reach me, Farmer John ELP on Instagram. That's my primary social. And Chris, where can they get you?
Instagram, Fast and Agile 49.
Yep. Guys, that's Q&A. The next episode you'll get from us, again, should be a bi-weekly, but, we're a little unorganized lately, so it might be a bi-monthly episode. That's a guest interview. It's going to be just like every other podcast on the planet. That's where we bring in our friends, our colleagues from across the country and across the globe. They'll share their stories of success and what they do with their clients, their athletes, their patients, and ultimately it's somebody you guys can network because they share the same core value and mission that we do. And then you're going to get the smorgasbord of episodes that could be anything from a guest interview, an athlete spotlight to a Friday Fire, or you know what? We may just bring in something new as well. You never know with us these days. But, guys, that's how our show operates. We don't run ads on the show. We just simply ask that if you got value out of this, if it made you laugh, if it made you cry, if you actually hung in there with us for the entire time, if you got value out of it, just share the show and bring us a friend. That's really all we ask. Just help support this mission, because I really believe that we're one of the only shows out there that's actually talking about the real stuff. Especially if you listen to our last episode. We're bringing you the real stuff, guys, so I appreciate it if you help us out. Share the show. I think that's all the housekeeping. Is there anything else I'm missing, Chris?
I think you got it all, John.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, why don't we do this? We're going to change it up. I'm going to throw you a screwball. Chris, why don't you introduce our guest today?
All right. Well, longtime client and a pitcher extraordinaire. I guess 4 years at Briarwood Christian School, high school here in Birmingham, Alabama area. And now going into his redshirt sophomore year at University of Southern Mississippi, Drake Meeks.
Yo, what's up, Drake? Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank y'all for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Of course, anytime.
So, yeah, small world. We were just talking off air, guys. But, yeah, Drake, we're all kind of connected here. Drake goes to Southern Miss, and he's in our southern area. But he plays with one of the Pratt brothers, and I've worked with the Pratts, and some of you guys might know who Cooper Pratt is. He's in the Brewers organization. His brother Ozzie plays with Drake, and it's just a super small world down here in the south of baseball,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%. Ozzie's one of my favorite teammates I've ever had. When that last out's made, whether it's a win or loss, it was one of the hardest to say goodbye to, just because he was such a locker room guy.
Yeah, he's a heck of a ball player, man. The whole family is, so there's no doubt. There's no doubt. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to chatting with you. I mean, you're playing ball at the highest level. I mean, you guys have been killing it down there at Southern Miss lately too. Y'all are all over the place, man.
Yeah, it's
great.
It's exciting times right now for sure. Obviously, when I first got there, Coach Oz got named the new head coach, and he's just done nothing but continue to do what Coach Barry's done and elevate our program. I mean, we have the longest streak in the country for 41 seasons. I think we hit 9 seasons in a row this year. So,
wow, nice. Yeah, you guys are killing it down there. So, I guess let's kind of start. I don't know, man. Let's start your backstory. I don't really know. Chris has talked about you
Yep.
Said he's, we've been trying to get the schedule for a while. It seems like we all have conflicting schedules, but I honestly got, like, real talk, guys, our listeners, like, I don't know anything about Drake, so I'm learning as much as you guys are right now. So, like, let's kind of start at the beginning, man. Like, where
Okay.
are you from? Did you tell us about your upbringing as far as sports and all that
So,
goes? And let's go.
but like Chris said, I've gone to Chris, so I can't remember how long. It's been a while though. But to start, I was just a super tall, scrawny kid. Didn't have much upside. Didn't really throw hard. Didn't have anything really going for me. And I was joking with my dad the other day about it. There was one day where I'd show up to work out with Chris, and I was just goofing around. And Chris kind of got into me one day. He probably remembers that day, but he got into me pretty hard. It's like, yeah, I just don't want that to happen again. I think Chris could probably agree with this. After that, it kind of was like a flip switch in my mind. And it's kind of like slowly but surely, I've seen signs that I could maybe go JUCO to start pitching, get like, because I think like my first varsity year, I was probably 82, 83, maybe. And then me and Chris were like, all right, if we want to do this, it's 5 a.m. workouts in Vestavia. Like, all right, let's do it. And I think I really just bought into that. And then my first outing junior year, I went from 82, 83 to 92, 94. So, I mean, I just really bought into it. And then obviously that's a really big velo jump. I can't guarantee that happens to everyone,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's pretty solid. I mean,
so
I mean,
that
it's okay.
happened.
It's okay. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not great, but it's all right.
But
yeah,
but
but
if you think about it though, Drake, that's probably what happens to just about everybody. They're
yep.
told they got potential. They're told they can do this. They're told they can do that. But it's a totally different thing when you actually experience it for yourself. Hey,
Oh
I
yeah.
actually did do this. I actually did throw 92, 94.
Yep.
It's a totally different. That's a totally different motivator.
Yep. And it's like that was so cool about it was like I'll die on the hill of like seeing your hard work pay off. Like there's gonna be it might take a long time for it to pay off, but when you get those signs, like when I heard that I was throwing 94, I was like, that's awesome. Then the rewards that come with it. I mean, you start talking to schools. Like I grew up an Alabama fan, and that night, like Alabama's head coach called me, and I was like, that's unreal. I was like, I thought it was a prank. I was like, this can't be real. But
Yeah, it's like the day that 94, you see that 94, 95, it's like boom, everything can change in the blink of an
oh,
eye.
and that's what college baseball is like now. It's like every week in rotation you see now, you're not going to see under 95. That's just how it is now.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So let's go back to the beginning just a little bit. I mean,
You know,
were you a multi-sport athlete growing up?
no, sir, I actually wasn't. I was actually just a pitcher only for
Yeah.
pretty much all of high school
Okay.
because Briarwood back in Birmingham, or I guess here, has always been we've always been a really good baseball school, so there wasn't really a spot for me to play in the field, and I was a great hitter, but my head coach was just like his name was Steve Renfro. He coached at Auburn, coached like Bo Jackson and them at Auburn. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
we just want you to PO. But then I really started working with Tristan Wedra, who also goes to Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to him as long as I've gone to Chris, and then a pitching coach at school is was Matt Greer. He pitched in the big leagues for the Twins and the
Yeah,
Dodgers.
I know the name.
So we just really bought into that, and I mean, I always was a pitcher. I mean, I like to say pitchers are athletes too, but I don't really have anything to back it up. So
But one
I
thing
don't either.
I got to tell something about Drake though. There are sometimes when you can actually look at an athlete and almost and within like 90% accuracy guess what they do. If somebody tells you they're a collegiate or a pro athlete or whatever, if I were to stand Drake in front of you and have 100 people guess at what his sport, I bet you 90% of them would guess baseball pitcher. He looks like the elite pitcher. He is, built like so many of the some of the top major league pitchers, that I've ever seen in terms of like height, stature, length, um, body build, everything. So that's, it's one of those things where if you made a guess, you'd probably make a very good guess.
Yeah.
The
but
rest of them
it's
would probably be a shooting guard for a shooting guard for some team somewhere.
but to go with that, it was always like I used to be super just lanky. Like I think when I first started going to Chris, I was maybe a buck 60, maybe if that, probably 2 inches shorter. And then it finally hit like the weight just started coming. Like I left high school like weighing probably about 185 pounds. So I gained 25 pounds in high school. So that's where the velo, that's where the all speed stuff started coming into play. But
Hmm.
now that I'm in college, I can go to Chris when I'm home, and then college weight room is they don't prepare you for that enough. It's unreal. It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that for sure. I got
But
a lot I want to dig into that.
like Chris said, I mean, I've told him in the past couple of weeks when I've been working out with him, my body feels completely different than it ever has. Because post-op, I got down to like 198 post-surgery, which is really low for me. Right now, I'm at around anywhere between like 216 to 220 right now, so it's feeling really good.
So I want to go back to high school here just a little bit. When did you make the decision to be a PO? Or like, was that
Um,
just what you were always doing, like from
Kind
like
of
eighth
after
grade
my
on,
freshman year,
freshman
so
year?
I was
Okay.
like, I pitched like once or twice on varsity my freshman year, so not a lot. And then we lost some guys, so they were like, "We think you can pitch a lot for us."
You got any
So,
thoughts on that? Just being a PO at that age?
um,
Like, cause you see, I mean, obviously with baseball,
oh,
growing the way that it
100%.
has. I mean, heck, I've got plenty of guys here up at ELP that are POs only. But I don't know, just from the pitcher
It's
standpoint, like, what are your thoughts on a high school kid doing that?
I can definitely see it now where it's definitely like you have to be bought into it because at the same time the rewards as high as the risk can be. Because
Hmm.
if you're giving up the other half of the game, well, that means you got to be pretty darn good at the other half.
Hmm.
So I just was always super hard on myself. I thought I could make it to the next level, whether that was JUCO, D1, or whatever it was.
Hmm. Okay. So you made the switch to PO. You said what, at the end of your freshman year? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So when did you meet Chris? When was
Oh,
that again?
goodness.
Was that prior to freshman year? Can't hear you, Chris.
Oh, yeah, I can't hear him either.
Yeah, Chris, you lost. Well, yeah.
Right around,
So there
yeah, it
you
was
go.
right around freshman year.
Okay, right around
Yep.
freshman year. Okay.
Yep.
So let's kind of go through that timeline here. Like, I mean, I know you
Mhm.
pitchers. I know you guys can recount every pitch you ever threw.
Yep.
Like, what? I mean, I don't want to harp on velocity. Like, I want to
Yep.
touch on it, but I mean, we all know, the game. Well, first off, are you a righty or lefty? I don't even
I'm
know.
a righty. I'm a
Okay, all right,
righty.
all right. So you have to be throwing 99 to even get somebody's attention. Unlike those cheap lefties who can throw 87 and they can get a D1 scholarship, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so so kind of let's walk through that velo progression a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
where were you freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and like I really want to relate to like how becoming a PO and working that sport specific side of it,
Yep.
like how much
Okay.
do you think that helped the progression, but also like at what stage did you realize like, hey man, this style, like this training is like just really ramping
Okay.
stuff up?
Um, so when I first started going to Chris, like I had done nothing like it ever prior. So it was a whole new ball game to me.
Had you already
But
had a reasonable level of like strength and training by that freshman year? Like you already
um
done basic stuff?
we were like training at school and stuff, just your typical just back squats, dumbbell bench press and stuff like that. But I think what my biggest thing was when I became a PO was like I didn't know how my body was moving, like I wasn't in control of it. And I think that's something that me and Chris always hit from day one is we gotta get you to control your body better. Because like one of our things we've done, like for instance this week, is like Russian lunge, ISO holds, and jumping. Like when I first started doing that, like my back legs like straightening out when I'm jumping, and like that just is like should have happened. It should be following everything else.
Okay. Okay. So, Chris, like, what when he started with you, like, what did you think just his baseline strength level looked like?
Well, as most freshman guys, I mean, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And again, it's not just how much or how little weight you can lift. It's as Drake said. I mean, there's no control over what you can move. So it's as you said, it's first developing some level of control of your body. I mean, what can you absorb? I mean, what can you in the proper position? What can you absorb? And in most cases, I mean, as again, most high school freshman guys, it's not very much to start with. The good news is that the development comes very, very, very quickly. So I would say within a month, that pretty much turned around quite a bit.
Yeah. What was that first workout like, Drake? You remember that?
Well, talking about pin
Puke.
lunge, Drake.
Oh.
Pin lunge.
First time doing pin lunge. Let's just say I had the trash cans on speed dial. I knew exactly where they all were.
Yeah.
That one's got me. That one's got me. I'm trying to think of the other thing. I think first time did like farmer carries with Chris. Got me
Yeah.
pretty bad too.
Yeah.
And sleds. The sleds where we go is pretty brutal too.
Yeah, sleds. Yep.
What type of sled work do y'all like to do a lot of?
It was the ones where like it has wheels on it and you can change like the gear it's in.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Well, he would attach like we put a carabiner on it. It'd be like almost like something you hold and you'd walk sideways, walk backwards, forwards.
I
And
didn't
I
realize
just
you were doing that much sled work there, Chris.
Say again.
I said I didn't realize you were doing that much sled work, Chris. I thought you were like anti-sled.
Oh no. Love sleds. Love
Yeah.
sleds. Now I don't like yielding isometrics. If you don't, if you want to
Yeah.
know why, go back a couple episodes. But yeah, love the sleds.
So once you started getting into this style of training, Drake, and I guess I'd be curious to hear both y'all's side of it. Like, when you talk about body control, and I
Mhm,
think there's people that haven't been through this type of style of training, they don't really understand what that means.
mhm.
So kind of touch on that, but I guess the other part two of that is like, what was clearly evident to you that was like your weakest link?
Okay. And well, in my mind, when I think of body control, so like obviously I'm a pitcher, I'm gonna think like my throwing motion, for instance. Well, if I can't control my hips when I settle to get down the mound, well, that's gonna affect everything upper body wise. So that's something that with the workouts we do with Chris, like you can't, you can't not be in control because you're gonna fail. Like if we're doing a 3 minute isometric hold, if everything's not firing like it should be, if I'm not pulling down, if I'm not engaging my glutes, I'm done for. I'm not gonna make it past a minute. And then probably my weakest link at when I first started, I mean, it's still something we work on today. I'd say it's probably mentally. I was pretty mentally weak when I first started going to Chris.
Yeah. I
Drake would
like this
disappear.
self
He would
awareness though.
disappear. He would
Oh yeah.
disappear at times. We do our summer workouts, and we'd be kind of like, anybody seen Drake? No, I hadn't seen him. And then he'd just pop up there at the end, like, all right, I'm done.
And
Okay.
what were you
Yeah.
doing, Drake? Were
Yes,
you
and
just hiding?
exactly.
I don't remember. I think I've chosen to block that out. That's the old Drake. But I mean, I think at the gym there's like a little upstairs area. I'd go chill out like on the Normatex or something.
So again, all right. So mentally, I mean, I think that's a really good statement. I wasn't expecting that. I figured you'd probably say something like hamstrings or something like that, like most people say. Let's dig into that because, especially, I think in our system, or I mean, the style of training we do, a lot of people struggle with that component. Like they
Mhm.
don't. They want to mindlessly go through the workouts, or they want to go through these hyped up, ramped up workouts like you see on TikTok and Instagram. Fine, whatever, more power to them. But how did you start to address that? Like, what were things that Chris did with you to help, improve that?
I think something Chris has always said to me is like, you gotta treat it like it's Game 7 World Series, bases loaded, 3-2 pitch. Like you gotta execute whether it's that pen lunge, whether it's that push up isometric hold. That's your situation. Like you're gonna crack, you're gonna walk in that run, or you're gonna strike them out.
Mm-hmm. What
It's
would
that
you
level of
think, Chris?
focus.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the level of focus. Anytime you go through a workout, and especially when you're actually engaged in a particular exercise. Let's just give it an iso extreme lunge as an example. And it's going to be somewhere in the 3 to 5 minute range that you're going to be doing this. Well, let's face it, it's hard to hold that much focus. When you're doing that entire, during that entire 3 to 5 minutes. But that's what it takes. I mean, how engaged are you? How focused are you in the scenario that Drake just gave you? I guarantee you are absolutely 100% all in mentally, physically, spiritually, psychologically, and physically when you're in that particular scenario. And that's the way that you also have to address your training. It has to be the exact same thing. If you want that exact same result to come out of the training that you're putting in and carry over to that particular sporting event, well, everything's got to kind of match up, so to speak. And that includes, John, as we've talked about, the pipes preparation, it's all got to be there, or else, good luck. Good luck having that carry over. You're probably going to choke in the time when it matters most.
Yeah. So let's walk through a little bit more of the high school progression. So you start training, you start seeing some pretty significant progress. When did you say you hit your big velo jump again? When was that?
Probably going into my junior year.
Going in junior year. Okay. All
Because
right.
it's kind of like after summer ball was done, so I was just training at this point, kind of taking some time off throwing. And I think like my last summer tournament, I was up to like 88 maybe. So going to junior year, pretty decent, actually pretty good number to be going into as a junior in high school.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting that I'm like I can hit an 88. Like I think I can pitch well this year, maybe make like an all like area team or something like that. Well, like our first game, like I said, it's against Vestavia, and that's like a huge school in Birmingham, always has baseball talent. And I remember pitching, and like PBR was there that day, and they were like gunning me. And I remember like they gunned me the first pitch, and they like did a double take on it. I was like, that's how that normally doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So I
What?
like,
Go ahead. No, go ahead and finish that statement.
so like the game finishes, and I went like 6 2/3, no hit. They took me out with like one out left, and I'm still pretty mad about that. I would have been pretty sick, but. They take me out, and I remember like my catcher comes up to me after the game. And he was like, "You hear what they were saying, Drake?" I was like, "No, what they say?" And he was like, "You were sitting like 92, 94 in the first." I was like, "Oh," I was like, "That'll play." I said, "That'll play for
Yeah.
sure."
Yeah, man.
And so that's kind of when it first happened, because I think the cool part about it was like I didn't know what would happen. Like I knew I'd put in the hard work and stuff, but I mean, seeing the results, like I said a couple minutes ago, it was cool. It was very cool.
So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. Did it? This is gonna sound weird, but hear me out. Like, did it feel different to you? Like when that happened, when you hit that in the first inning. I mean, that's a big jump, right? Were you
Massive, yeah.
like you knew you were putting the work in? Yes, we knew it was eventually was gonna come, but like when you did that, did you know like, oh shoot, like I know I just put something on that, and that was like 93. I could feel it.
I had no clue. I swear
Okay,
to you, I had no clue. It felt
it felt
completely
normal.
normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I asked that. I'm just genuinely curious because your story is very similar to one of my guys. You may know the name Brady Tiger. You know Brady Tiger, former
Sounds
Arkansas
very
guy,
familiar. Yep.
Arkansas pitcher. Yeah, he's with the Red Sox now, but he's kind of like you are with Chris. He started with me, kind of almost a very similar story, and that's the same story. Was like that summer. I want to say he was already up to like 92. I think like we'd taken him from mid 80s, like 92, something like that. And then I remember in clear detail what I was doing and everything. When all of a sudden my phone starts going off at one night, and he hit like 97 that night. And I've asked him kind of some of those same questions as well. Like I was just kind of curious your feeling of that. It was like your body is just all of a sudden prepared for this moment that you don't even really know, and it's just like boom, it can do it
Oh yeah.
because you've already trained your body to be able to do that, and like it just happens, you know.
Yep.
So I think that's kind of cool. Okay, so you get that. Obviously, people start beating down your door.
Yeah. Yep.
And then how did at that point your body's performing at a different level. How did that impact the rest of your game? Like all of a sudden you're
Um,
able to display all these new qualities of strength, power, speed,
I'd
velocity.
say
Like what changed? Or did anything?
I'd say at that point it was almost like, because obviously the stuff that comes with it, like you said, the schools, it makes you feel like a confidence, but you don't want to let it get to you too much. You don't want it to become arrogant at the
Yeah.
same time. I'd say it almost became to the point where of like when I was pitching out there, I was like, all right, I'm going seven. You got 7 innings to try and get a run off of me. And that was my junior year was statistically my best year, but just because senior year we had like we had some new kids coming senior, but junior year, once I realized I could throw hard, it's like this is awesome. I was like, I don't have to think about throwing hard now. I can just do it.
Hmm.
Like here it is, just my good's just as good as your good. Let's see what happens.
And I think that's what we see a lot, John. Like we've talked about before, it's not just like it's not like you're trying to go somehow harder than you've ever gone before. It's just your body's, as you said a minute ago, is prepared to handle throwing 97. It knows it can recover from that. And so it let your brain, or in this case, Drake's brain, lets him have that pitching velocity. You know, it didn't just show up. It was his brain knew his body was prepared.
Yeah, it's like it was there, and I've always equated like because your story. I brought all this up because like Drake, your story is kind of similar to Brady's and others, where it's like I think of this success kind of like an inverted hockey stick, right? Like if a hockey
Yep.
stick is laying down on the ground. And it's like, yeah, sure, you're making incremental improvements, but it seems to be that just like one day, all of a sudden, it's just like, dude, you know, level, and then bam, it just
Oh yeah. Oh,
explodes.
100%.
And I've always found that interesting, you know,
Hmm.
and I think it's interesting you experience the same thing. And, you know, I don't really have an answer as to why that is. I mean, I don't know, maybe you do, Chris.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I
Uh,
said, it's just all of a sudden. I mean,
so, like,
we
why that
know.
day? Like, why was it that day that all of a sudden he just went from 88 to 93? Like, why?
Well, you think about it. I mean, we are every single one of us are capable of so much more than so much more than what we would display on a given day. Okay, but all of a sudden, you know, if as soon as you know your opportunity meets preparation, right? Okay, that's your lucky day. Okay, let's opportunity meets preparation. That's your lucky day. Well, now your body is prepared to handle the stresses you're about to put it under, and all of a sudden, you know, again, your brain now lets you have more of what you're already capable of because it knows it can come back for more. I mean, there's a reason why you have to be in an exceptionally stressful situation. Like, you know, you got a child in a burning building, I got to go get them out, you know, or whatever. Okay, that's an extremely stressful situation, and your brain will override all the brakes, I guess you would say. It will allow you to override your inhibitions to a certain degree in very stressful situations. But in most cases of everyday life, and in Drake's case, he is a pitcher in everyday life. So his brain's not going to let him throw 105, even if he's actually capable of doing it at this point. He's got to go through the preparation in order to get his brain to allow him to do that. And so, but it will let him throw. What'd you get up to, Drake? 99 at
Yes,
one
sir.
point?
98, 99.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
so there you go. So eventually his brain's like, okay, you're prepared. I'm going to let you have 98, 99. You know, it's not at 102 yet, but it will be given the right circumstances.
All right, so you're pumping some gas here. We're making the transition from high school to college. What was your path there?
Like getting to Southern
Yeah,
Miss,
yeah. Where'd you go? Did you go JUCO first? Did you go right to Southern Miss? What's the story?
I went right to Southern Miss out of high
Okay,
school.
okay, okay.
So that
Eh,
was, I took all my visits, and Southern Miss was the place I wanted to be. Coach Oz develops pitchers the best in the country, in my
Yeah,
opinion. And I mean, the proof's in the pudding. If you want to look at our track record with pitching,
yeah, no doubt.
we're a top five staff, in my opinion, every year. So I wanted to play for that. And I originally, Coach Barry was the head coach when I committed, but he retired right before our freshman year. But he's still there every day, so it's not like we miss him too often. But so I get to Southern Miss, and it's a whole different ball game. I don't like saying this stuff. I mean, I went from being the number one pitcher in the state to there's 15 other guys
Yeah,
just like me.
yep. You starting back from the bottom. Yeah, no
Oh
doubt.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and then I mean, when you're a freshman, it's like you're the kid to pick on. In scrimmages, you're like, all the upperclassmen. Oh, I can't wait to face the freshmen because mentally we're the weakest in college ball. 'Cause, I mean, the biggest thing for me, I don't, without question, was the game clock, like the pitch clock. I would get the ball and I was moving at Mach 10 and I'd be pitching the ball with like 18 seconds left because I was like, I have to go, 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 go.
Hmm.
But really, once you realize like 20 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're out there playing a game, it moves a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But once you really, that was my biggest jump from freshman to sophomore year before I got hurt was like, I really found my like calmness. Like for me, it's kind of funny. Like we have like advertisements all over the field, and there's like a blimp that I look at on advertisement. If I look at that, everything just calms down. Like everything goes quiet.
What uh, what changed for you mechanically speaking? Any major
Um,
changes going from high school to college?
so freshman year I was stretch only. Actually, they didn't like how my body was moving from the windup. They thought everything was falling. It wasn't really a controlled set in the hip, following the hips down the mound. So we went stretch only. For a while, it was really successful because, I mean, I didn't really have good statistical freshman year, but my last outing was against Tennessee in Knoxville. I mean, I was sitting like 97, 98 against them, throwing bullet sliders at like 90, 92. So it was something I'd never done before. And then they sent me off to the Cape Cod League for summer ball, and I was still stretch only. And that's really, in my mind, I was like, okay, because the Cape's the best of the best. You get invited up there.
Oh
There's no
yeah.
flukes up there. I mean,
No, no, no.
I've counted like 29 of the hitters I've faced up there, projected top 150 picks in next week's draft. So, and they'll cut you too if they think you're not performing. They'll be like, "Hey, we got your plane ticket home. We're sending you off." So, in my mind, when I got up there, it was really I wanted to prove to myself that I wasn't a fluke. I was up there for a reason. That my stuff can play against all these top names. So. That's really where I found myself. The pitching coach up there, Ray Korn, really got into talking with me about getting my windup back. He was like, "You're throwing 98 from the stretch only." He's like, "If we give you a windup, kid," he was like, "you're gonna throw the piss out of the ball."
Yeah. So you started to work on that, and
Yep.
so you went to the Cape what year? In between?
Last summer, in
Okay,
between
last.
freshman and sophomore year,
Okay,
yes,
in between
sir.
freshman sophomore year. Okay.
So I
So you
go up there.
go ahead, keep
I,
going.
s- my bad. I started off in the bullpen start. Like I come out like if we were up or it was a close game, they're going to me every 3 days, get 3 outs. Because I'd always come in after a like soft lefty guy. So they're like the ripple effect, you coming in, we like that. So we start working on the wind up and Coach Oz happens to call. He's like, "Hey, I want Drake to start the next 4 outings before we bring him back to school." So first couple were a little shaky. I think I went like 3 or 4 innings the first couple starts. And then my last start I went like I think I went 4 or 5 innings and it was like holding my velo like my freshman year at Southern, I'd be like 92, 94 first inning. Second inning, I'd be like 90, 91, could not hold velo. Well, my last outing in the Cape, like I don't think I threw a pitch under like 95, 5 the
Why
whole
do you think
outing.
that was? Why do you think you couldn't hold it?
Um, I don't know. Because I kind of had the problem in high school where I'd be like 92, 94, and I'd settle in like 88 to 90. And I guess my biggest thing was I think I found what I needed to do in between innings to keep me going. So I'm the type of person where if I sit down and I get disengaged, when I get back out there, my body's not gonna be moving well. So I really found what I like to do in between innings.
Mind sharing that a little bit?
Oh, 100%. It was
Yeah.
so no outs. I sit down, just put a towel over my face, look down. I like tie my shoelaces. Like that's what keeps me locked in. I'll untie them, I'll keep tying them. Then with 1 out, I'll get up and I'll start just pacing back and forth, just not looking at anyone. And then with 2 outs, I like put my hand up on the poles and dugout, straighten it out, get my wrist going, and then just trying to keep my shoulder and wrist going.
So this is strategic.
I
Oh,
was going
Like,
to say,
100%.
okay,
now
all right. So
how many kids listening to this are now going to go through that exact same
yeah,
progression in between innings? You know, now you have started a trend, Drake. It's starting
It's
today.
but it's something for sure that I mean, obviously everybody's different. It didn't trust me. It wasn't like the first time it did something that stuck. It was, I mean, it's hit or miss to start, but once I really found it, I was like, like I need to hold on to this because I mean, if I can hold 95 plus for 75 plus pitches, that'll play at any level, in my opinion.
Well, I think it goes back to what you said, earlier in the show, where you were talking about you were mentally weak.
Hmm.
This seems to be a reoccurring theme throughout this conversation that we keep coming
Yep.
back to your mental game. And your body is prepared for this, but when the
Hmm.
mind gets disengaged, then when you have to go back out and perform, you're not performing at
Yeah.
your highest level. So again, it's mental. It's a mental
Hmm.
thing,
A
right?
100%.
You
And
know.
then they kind of just carried from the Cape to fall ball. It's Coach Oz brought me in. He was like, we got a lot of good guys. I mean, JB Middleton, our Friday night guy, he's going to be a first rounder next week. He was unbelievable. So he was like, it's like, it's you and him. If y'all want to go at it, go at it. So at the fall, it was me and JB pitching at each other. And then Colby Allen, one of the best relievers in the country. So that's two guys I got to compete against every weekend. And then there's plenty more. Matt Adams, Graydon Harris. I could go on and on about guys I went up against, but you start getting deeper into the fall, well, it's the same 4 to 6 guys starting every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And if you're one of them in your mind, all you know is it's me against y'all. And I mean, I got to outperform you because I want one of those 3 starting spots on the weekend. So,
So you get back from the Cape, and we're coming into sophomore season now.
yes, sir.
So kind of walk me through that process. I mean, were you able to get back with Chris over the summer, there,
Uh,
or no, just at the Cape?
Not really. It
Got back
was,
into school.
I mean, we finished our Cape season. I think I had like 2 or 3 days until
Yeah,
school
you're pretty
started.
much right back into it.
Yeah.
That's how it's been with my guys too. So
So,
so you get right back into school, you get back into the normal routine of stuff. Now, like, are
mhm.
you still trying to do some of like our style training on your own, or are you just rolling with? And I know y'all's time is maxed out. I mean, you doing any of that, or are you just kind of rolling with what the school and everything is giving you?
Um, we're doing a lot of the school stuff, but more so like when I would do stuff on my own, just like maybe if I was doing dry reps at the field or stuff, I like to hit. We don't do it now, but we used to do like oh gosh, the name slipped me. Where you get a dowel and you put the dowel over your head and stuff with your arms straight, stuff like that. That's something I do just because I know it now since I've had Tommy John that they've told me your shoulder leads to everything. Like that's why most elbows get hurt, which I didn't know in hindsight then, but now I do. So that's something I'm definitely going to do a lot more. And I like doing the leg stuff, the leg holds, because it helps me feel like, well, if I can hold that when I'm out there firing a pitch, it feels so much easier.
Sure,
All right,
sure.
well, now I'm going to fuss at you here for just a minute. You know you never hold, right?
Pull, don't hold.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, I
I
got
knew what you were trying to say.
Yeah, yep.
Okay. All right. So you kind of come into that sophomore year. What now was this coming to sophomore season? Was this the season you got hurt?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Yeah.
This past
So
fall. Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So what happened?
I mean, it started off going great. I'd say my freshman year, if I wasn't striking people out, I wasn't getting many outs. But this past fall, we really focused on just filling it up. Coach Oz was like, listen, he was like, you have stuff a lot of people would do a lot of things for. You give the hitter a lot more credit than they deserve. He was like if you throw 97, 98 down the pipe, 2 times out of 10, they might hit it. And if out of those 2 times, they're more likely going to be a foul ball, he said. So really just focus on filling up the zone because my strike percentage as a freshman was atrocious. But then this past fall, it was up in the 65 to 75% every outing. And I was getting through like 4 innings on like 35 pitches. And I was like, I like this. I was like, I can do this contact thing. So it started off good. I mean, I had 4 or 5 great outings, and it was at a point where it was going good. It was looking like I was going to get a weekend spot. And Coach Oz was like, Saturday or Sunday is going to be you opening weekend. And then I was doing a midweek bullpen and do a change up, and then all of a sudden they say you feel that pop and felt it. It was, and instantly as a pitcher you hear about it and you just know,
You know exactly what it was. Yeah.
100%. So
Yeah.
feel
I
the
mean, I hate
pop.
that. I hate that for you. I
Oh,
obviously I hate
yeah,
that
oh,
for you. I
I
mean,
understand
nobody
it.
wants to hear that, but I guess one of the positive the positive outlook is it's not a death sentence like it was,
Oh no.
20 years ago now. I mean, not
Oh.
not at all. Unfortunately, it's a norm,
Well,
but
sadly, the hard part about it was, so I came home to Andrews to get an MRI,
hmm
and the original MRI was sprained. So sprained UCL, they let you rehab it. So I do the 2 to 3 months of rehabbing it, and I come back throwing. They told me they're like 90 feet when the rubber hits the road with this. Like you're gonna feel it. It's not gonna feel great, but it's supposed to happen. Well, I was at 90 feet for like 3 weeks. I couldn't get past. I felt like I was getting stabbed every time. So I called my parents back up. I was like, "Hey, not going good. I need to go back." And did another MRI, and this time it's the UCL is completely torn off. So
yeah. Well, I hate to hear that, man, but yeah, like we said, I mean, you got great care down there, and it's not a death sentence like it was,
nah,
used to, not anymore.
No.
So, okay, so you missed your sophomore season. I guess now that pulls us up right to this summer.
yes,
Is that
sir.
right? Yeah. So, what's your summer been like, man? What you guys been
It's
doing?
been
Y'all just been hanging out?
oh yeah, we've been getting after it. We're going working out 4 to 5 times a week with Chris, and then me and Chris been talking about it a lot. Been doing PT with Kevin Wilk here in
Yeah.
Birmingham, really big guy in the PT world.
Yeah, I've met him. Yeah.
And Chris is harped on how he's impressed stuff. We've been doing a lot of stuff in PT that he wouldn't really think we'd be doing. Like we've been doing like an impulse machine almost, but with tubing bands. A lot of impulse stuff from my arm. It's not a lot of they don't baby me in there for sure. I know that much. It's we get after it. It's
Yeah.
really I've really enjoyed it.
Nice, nice. What kind of
Yeah.
stuff you doing with Chris? Like, I know you're a little limited in what you
It's
do, but what's
so
kind of y'all's emphasis been
Not
this summer?
anymore. Not anymore. No, we're pretty much
Oh,
going full bore at this point.
full board now.
yeah,
Nice.
100%. It's we first got there, it was kind of like trying to put the puzzle pieces in place, see what we can do, can't do. But now we're doing push-up isometric holds for up to 2 minutes now. We're doing scat pull holds, stuff like that.
hmm
So it's been good. I mean, it's like I mean, best way I can put it is it feels like I'm healthy again. It's part of I mean what Chris has helped me do, Mr. Kevin. It's actually insane how many people have helped me get to where I am now. It's definitely has not been me at all. It's been a lot of the people around me.
Chris, what were some things that maybe you saw? I mean, when he got back, like, were there areas that had changed, I guess, just within a year? Like, and by the way, I should preface on saying about no fault of anybody's by any means. I mean, as he's just playing ball, year round, did you see any changes in his ability to pull into position or whatever else that you're like, hey, we got to work on this summer?
Well, I mean, it had been at this point, it had been over 2 years since I'd seen him. So, from starting this summer. So, yeah, I mean, some things were a little bit rusty. And so, we use the newbie to help kind of encourage his muscles to give him something to pull against.
hmm
And so we would use those. We did not put any weight in his hands at all. So initially, instead of doing things like an iso extreme push up or a scapula pull up, what we would do is we would get him face up. So he would be literally no weight on his arms at all. Put the newbie on his chest, on a training setting, and get him to hold his arms open. So that you got to remember, if you picture this, you put the electrodes on the chest, it makes the arms want to close together like this, and so he had to engage his upper back to keep his arms apart. And then we do the same thing, basically doing an unweighted scapular pull-up by putting the electrodes on his lats and having him reach his arms behind his body like so. And so now we don't have to worry about risking putting weight through his still healing elbow and still train the large muscles of the trunk. So, but then of course the iso extreme lunges, we weren't limited there in any way. We weren't limited in the hamstrings in any way. We weren't limited in I'll call it the pitcher stance exercise, Drake, that we
Yep.
use, for the trunk and for the hips. We weren't limited there in any way. So, I mean, we took up on the lower body stuff. It's like we never missed a beat on that kind of stuff. So,
Tell
but
me a
we
little more
found a
about this
way.
pitcher stance thing. What is that? What are you doing?
Drake, you take that.
It so we put electrodes, so like obviously I'm standing upright We put electro on like my oblique, and then one on. So if it's on my right side, it's on my right oblique. Electro on my left glute, and then two of them on the inside and outside of my right leg. And so the point of it is almost well, I'm lifting my legs up, so I'd lift my left leg up like so like I'm literally in the stretch, like I'm pitching in the stretch, but in my mind it's like it wants to pull me down, it wants to make my leg bend, but you have to straighten everything out. I mean, it's just hammering your abs, your legs, because in my mind, like when you pitch, you got to be tight core and everything. Your legs have to be strong. You can't fall. If you fall, your whole body is the zone goes from this to this if your whole body's out of tune. So we started doing that this summer. It's one of my favorite things we've ever done on there. But it'll light you up. Don't get that messed up.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That'll get you. Cool. Cool. So what's next step, man? I mean,
So
are you getting close to being fully cleared here?
oh yeah, this Thursday actually I make my first
Oh,
throw.
nice, man.
So this Thursday will be 20 weeks post-op. I wish I could say it felt like yesterday I had surgery, but it really doesn't. It's been a grind, but like I've said, it's been hard mentally because I mean, trust me, in season, it's hard to not think that you could be out there helping the team win. So at the end of the day, that's just one of my biggest concerns is I could be out there helping us win. And what I get excited about is I kind of have a chip on my shoulder for this upcoming year. Like, I'm gonna be back. I want to help us win because I'm personally tired of seeing other teams dogpile on our field. So.
All right.
And,
Closing thoughts here. Chris, you have something else you want to say?
oh no, I was just going to say. I mean, think about just very, very quickly the conference that Drake is in. I mean, their conference winner went all the way to the finals. Did they not, Drake? Am I
Yes, sir.
right on that?
They
They made it
came
all the way
up.
to the finals. And
Yep.
we're talking about what should be this small conference. I'm going to call BS on that. I mean,
Yeah.
so these are really good baseball players. These are really good baseball teams. Even though it's and I live in SEC country, as does John.
Yeah, but
You
anywhere
know,
in the southeastern United States, period. Now, like the level of competition is just so high.
Oh, like I said earlier in the show, it's any weekend in college baseball, you're seeing 95 plus. You're seeing a 90-mile-per-hour slider. You're seeing a lefty up to 95. You're seeing a guy with 20 homers. So I agree with I agree with Chris 100%. I think the Sun Belt is a power conference for baseball. I mean, we're good every year. Coastal's very good this past year. I mean, what they did was unreal.
Yeah, it was wild.
Troy's Troy's always good. UL's always good. So I don't think it's going unseen anymore. I think with Texas State leaving, I think there's rumors that Law Tech might even be joining the Sun Belt. So that'd be a major addition. So,
mm,
Oh, nice. I got a guy down there. Nice.
but it's
Okay.
been, but going back to the Tommy John thing, but yeah, Dr. Duke has killed it. I got actually what they call hybrid one now, but
Oh, did
so
you?
yes, sir.
Interesting. Interesting.
So I mean, I don't know if y'all can see it on here. I have the incisions from
Slide
they
over
took the
more.
oh
There you
more
go. There you go.
they
Now you can see your elbow.
they took Paul Maris out, and that's in my elbow now. And then there's the
nice.
major one.
It's pretty sick looking, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So, but the hybrid's the new one now, where they do the reconstruction and the internal brace. But my internal brace is the Paul Maris that they put in there. So,
Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, Dugas is definitely one of the best,
oh
man.
yeah,
There's no doubt for
he
sure.
uh he kills it. He does an amazing job. And then Mr. Kevin, it's like a famous athlete's in there every other day.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah. No, Mr. Kevin's great too. I've met him once. He's great too. You got a good team between them and Chris, and man, I'm glad you're back on track, and look forward to
yeah,
seeing
well,
what you do this year. I'm definitely gonna be watching to see what you do in
I
between innings,
appreciate.
though, no doubt.
We all
I
are.
Um,
We
appreciate.
all are
no
for
It
doubt.
sure.
Yeah.
might not be able to see me. I'm like big. Like I put the towel over me. I don't like seeing anything. And then it's probably not a good thing. Like the coaches, I get the coaches talking to me, but like maybe if my teammates come and tap me, I'm not the happiest human being when they come talk to me.
Hey, we're
But
there to
yeah, it's been
compete, man.
great. I know I can easily say showing up to Chris and Mr. Kevin every day, it's a pleasure. I don't ever doubt going there. I don't ever dread it. They make it fun, but at the same time, the work environment, it's legit there. So I want to be where I am without Chris or anybody else that's been a part of it.
Cool, cool.
Awesome.
All right, man. Well, here I got 2 questions for you to wrap things up.
Yes, sir.
2-part. You got 1 piece of advice to give. All right, and I got 2-part question, which I've kind of done to you the whole afternoon. Part 1: what's the piece of advice you'd give an athlete coming through this style of system? But then part 2 is just as a pitcher, like piece of advice you can give a kid who maybe isn't training in this style. You know, you've made it to a very high level. What type of advice could you give them?
First advice is I would just always bet on yourself because at one point, I mean, I never thought about playing college baseball at the next level. And obviously, a lot of people say bet on yourself, but like, truthfully, like, I took the chance on myself and it got me to where I am today. And like I've said this whole episode, like, I had people behind me that wanted it probably more than I wanted it at that point. But I just think, like, you can't leave a dream on a pillow is something I like to say.
I like
And
Yeah.
that.
then, and then some for someone that doesn't train, like,
Well, I mean,
or
what other direction you want to go? Like, if you got a kid training in this style system, give them a piece of advice to take it to the next level. Because again, kind of the theme of today was the mental
mental.
side of it.
Um,
Yeah.
I'd say something me and Chris worked on this summer is breathing pattern.
Oh, there
Once
you
you
go.
can get the breathing pattern down, it's taking my times on isometrics a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And then
Excuse
like
me.
I think Chris can vouch for me too. Like when I start noticing my breathing pattern mess up now, it's like I'll intentionally go down to stop the time because I know if I can better myself doing the breathing pattern the whole time, that's just gonna like it's not skipping a step, but it's a big next step in my opinion.
It's
Yeah.
still a failure point.
Yep,
You fail
100%.
in the breathing, it's still a failure point. Yes.
It's a good piece of advice, man. Well, Drake, I appreciate you taking the time to join us. It's
Of course.
good to
Thank y'all
meet
for
you,
having
man.
me.
Heard a
Yeah,
lot
thanks,
about you.
Drake.
It's good to meet you.
Of course. Well,
Yeah. All
Chris
right.
is, I don't know what time it is. I feel like Chris is probably about to see me about 30 minutes. So,
Yeah. We'll see you here in just a
Oh,
few
nice.
minutes. You got it.
Nice.
yeah.
All right, guys. Y'all know the deal. You got value out of this, which I know you did. Make sure you go out there, pay your dues, and share the show. Appreciate you guys. Peace.
Deal.